there's an interesting stat I read the other day. In Southern California, particularly Los Angeles, in terms of contractors that were building homes, so most of the contractors, not most, but a large majority of them do not have a contractor's license compared to the rest of the nation. So we technically don't have enough licensed contractors in Southern California to rebuild these homes. And that did not matter before because most people can sign an owner declaration form and pay with their own funds. But when it comes to like insurance proceeds and getting distributions and whatnot, I believe you need a contractor's license, right? You need to work with the actual licensed contractor.
If they give you the proceeds directly, it's your choice. But if it's
it's on a distribution,
if the insurance holds on to it,
and there's a mortgage,
then yes, they're going to demand that you have somebody who has a license.
That's huge. Most of the contractors in Southern California are not licensed.
So there's a limited number of licensed ones, and the insurance would not be working with them directly.
It's also a skill issue.
Not
many people are skilled to be able to go build. I mean, you can have two contractors that have the same exact product to go build. One guy's going to get it through the permitting phase. The other person's going to get stuck, or they're not going to know what to do. They're not going to know all the different loopholes, everything that they need to do, right? So I think it's like awareness of what someone needs to go find as far as like finding a contractor who knows what they're doing, finding somebody who knows how to build so that it's resilient for the next time, right? And I think these are all like interesting things that I think he's right. I don't think any city has ever seen this happen before, especially in America, at least, to this scale of devastation.
Think about, let's say you're a homeowner who lost your home. You need to hire a surveyor, an architect, an engineer, a permit expediter, soils engineer possibly, a general contractor. Most people don't know that they could go and hire one firm that will handle all of that. But if someone's thinking soil engineer, all these different trades, you're freaking out. You don't know what to do here. So, I mean, it's just, I don't see how the organization is there to get this past the finish line anytime soon.
So do you think a lot of out-of-state companies will come here?
I think that, I think the contractor load is actually not going to be as much as we think it's going to be. So initially when I was getting all these phone calls, like till today, I get at least 2 calls a day on inquiries from Altadena, mostly Altadena, not so much the Palisades. But I thought we were going to have a lot of homes at once. But at the rate that they're processing permits, it's just like they told us initially it was 60 days to get a permit. My first submittal got their corrections 73 days after it was submitted. Just your first set of corrections.
Which means that the permit will take, how long do you think it will take?
So we're about to get our first permit this week. We're, I think, almost 6 months, 5.5 months into it. And that was they're adding 10% to their house.
So you think the permitting process, by what you're seeing right now, it's going a lot longer than what
and that's why I think this is going to take a lot longer than most people think it's going to take to build. And that's really just going to dishearten people, which I think is going to make them want to sell.
What about you, Ken? How's the permitting going in Palisades?
It's the same. I mean, Gary's right. We've achieved 3 permits so far. We probably have 60 or 70 clients moving ahead. But we're on the very, very front end of permits. LADBS has managed to acculturate a climate of no. Their answer to everything historically is no. Go away, come back, and try again. And that's not going to get you anywhere going forward in this circumstance. You need a culture of problem solving. And you're basically going to ask the same people who have said no for years as a policy and as a profession to turn on a dime and solve problems. I don't see that it's going to happen, and it's not happening yet. But there will be a point where the dam breaks and everybody rushes forward to do something. And at that point, it goes back to our conversation of how many contractors are available, how many materials are available. One of my clients said, the only way I'm going to make money or I'm going to get whole out of this situation is if I go buy a lumber yard and just sit on it for 2 years and then charge people 100% markup. And he was right.
It's interesting. You're talking about building a safety, and once you get past that, you haven't even gone to utilities yet.
Right.
Let's say nowadays you finish a house in the city of Los Angeles with building and safety, you get your power release to come and connect the power and have permanent power on your home. It takes, after you pass your final inspection, it takes them 2.5 to 3 months to come and connect the power. So your home is juiced and you can actually live in it.
So how long do you think it would take for people that are getting permits to be able to build a fully ready to move in structure?
So we could put up the new construction homes in 8 months, but I mean, how quickly the utility services, the utility companies are going to move to actually establish, so you need fire sprinklers now on the interiors of the home. Most of these homes did not have fire sprinklers. To have a fire sprinkler system in your home, you need to have at least a 1-inch utility service line for the water coming into your property. Most homes are 3/4. That process in the city of LA right now, without fires, just for a new home that you buy, takes 3 to 4 months to do. And you can't pass your rough inspection without that. So it's just, there's too many moving parts. And there's no organization in building and safety. There's no organization in Department of Water and Power. And that's just city of LA. Once you go to Altadena and you're dealing with the county, first off, it's all third party now, the plan checkers. I got an email, I sent a follow-up email 2 weeks ago on a project we submitted. I got an automatic response saying the plan checker is on vacation for 3 weeks. So how's this going to move forward? It doesn't make sense.
So you don't see a prioritizing, you don't see a fast pace?
I see chaos. We submitted a set of plans. 2 weeks later, we got an email asking if, she said, your plans are incomplete. They were missing our engineering set, supposedly. But there's something called Epic LA where you log in to actually check and see what documents have been submitted. I logged in, everything was submitted, it was fine. And then they called us like a few days later. They said that we, as our third-party plan checkers, cannot access your system to double check and see if you've submitted your documents. Only the county can. So they're not even giving them full transparency to be able to access these documents if they don't have it on their table.
So the people that are supposed to check your plans,
Yeah.
they don't have access to check.
The county does not have that transparency with them to tell them, hey, you can go on the system at any time and check what document the developer or contractor submitted.
What about on that side, on Palisades? You're dealing with the city of LA. Do you guys see issues with this permitting process?
We see nothing but bureaucracy. I'll give you, this was not in the Palisades, but it's a home that I'm doing personally. We submitted plans, fully engineered, fully architected, everything good. And they came back and said, you need a water bib in the backyard. A water spigot. That has nothing to do with the structure of the building, its safety, the solar, the fire sprinklers. It was 3.5 months to get the water bib designed to send back to them, and we're still waiting for a response. 4 months gone. Now, back to your point, 4 months, you're still living in an Airbnb, you're still spending money that you don't have, your financial circumstances getting worse each month. Over a water bib? You've got to solve problems at this point. You can't be bureaucratizing, a water bib or a Simpson strong tie or something like that. You've got to go out and actually help people get into their homes.